My biological daughter and son-in-law I lost when they were 23 years old. Fresh out of college, just married. A few months later after they were married, they were in a car accident and I lost both of them. And so I've had, those are major, major, major challenges.
How does one come back from something like you just described with your daughter and your son-in-law?
Well, it changes you forever, that's for sure. My daughter and son-in-law were the center of my life, and to have that disappear on you overnight is very traumatic. But you carry on. You don't ever get over it. But I think part of what allowed me to continue was just thinking of her, because she would have been very upset with me if I didn't continue.
It's funny, as you were saying that, Vice President Biden has talked to me before about losing family to a car accident unexpectedly. And
right.
Have you and he ever talked about that, which has impacted both of you?
Yes, the most difficult part of it was, and it was the same with him, is when those accidents happened, both of us were in public life. So you don't have an opportunity to grieve privately. The world is watching you as you're grieving. But I did have an opportunity to share with him something that really struck me. When he was being nominated to be the vice president in 2008, they did this videotape of him. And in the videotape talks about his wife and daughter and the accident.
Something bad happened. And I knew. I don't know how I knew. But the call said my wife was dead, my daughter was dead, and I wasn't sure how my sons were going to make it. For the first time in my life, I understood how someone could consciously decide to commit suicide. Not because they were deranged, not because they were nuts, because they'd been to the top of the mountain and they just knew in their heart they'd never get there again.
And that was a real profound moment for me, because that accident was decades ago, but it was still up front and center, a part of the narrative of his life. And it made me realize from that moment on that what happened to my daughter and son-in-law was always going to be a part of the narrative of my life when people talked about it.
You really are giving me pause there, and probably a lot of other people who probably don't realize what they are doing when they do that. Hey, tune into the Carlos Watson Show. It's like no other. You're going to enjoy it every weekday on YouTube.